Hi, welcome back to Dow Twine. I'm Dave. So today is just going to be a, a playing, jamming kind of, exchanging licks. In this instance, I'll be the, it'll be kind of a one directional exchange, I guess. But I hope that you can sort of experience it as, that even though we're in this virtual space, we're, that you get a sense of like, yeah, we're just hanging out and, trading some licks and showing each other stuff, right? When I'm working with folks one on one these days, I just enjoy it so much. A few years ago, I would have had a hard time accepting or imagining that this environment could really satisfy those kinds of interactions, but it does. And I'm so glad that I got more open to that, at some point in my old ways and so forth. And really, you know, uh, uh, have settled into the potential here. And it's an amazing thing, connecting with so many people, learning so many things myself about guitar and the world, people all over the world. I'm sitting here in this little, country road and by the creek in Missouri, and I'm interacting with these people on like four different continents now. So it's really cool. Just thought I'd share a little bit about the my experience with all of this, and my real concern here is your experience, right? That's what this is all about. It's for both of us. It's both sides of it. But I really try to work on seeing it from your side, right? And today, sometimes we really kind of just almost kind of talk through and kind of just keep showing stuff and analyzing it. Today, I'm going to give you some space. I'm going to show you some of these moves. I'm about to show you some of the real essential things about my major key approach to playing guitar. And I'm glad to do so. I'm so happy to be able to share all this with you all. So I hope it's something that you really can use and integrate into your own sound. Now, real quick before we get into this week on YouTube, um, I use the same backing track that I'm going to use to demonstrate things here today. And it's the latest one on YouTube, and it's labeled something having to do with sixth interval harmonies. It's in the key of E. So if you've seen that one, great. It'll go very well with what we're going to do here today. If not, then hang out and watch this one. Then go back and look for that one. You put those two together, it's going to be a really good combo for a lot of you. So let's just get right in here, and we're going to have some fun. I got a few things tabbed out here for you, and then I'll show you how you can use them to really, do different things in terms of how you arrange your soloing over this 1-4-5 progression in E. All right, so I've got this simple backing track. It's just that one guitar, and we'll go through this a couple of times. This help get our ear adjusted to the key we're in. We're in E, and then you can use the attached file to jam over this later. So here we go at the top, starting on the one chord, E. It's in 4, and there's 3 measures of that E. 3, then the A, the 4 chord in E. Back to the 1. Okay, take a guess. Up to the 5. B. Back to the 1. All right, one more time around. We're just getting our ear adjusted, and play whatever you want with your rhythm and stuff. Just ba da da da. And don't rush through all this stuff. It's not just like, oh, I got the chords. Come on, let's go. Give me the lick. It's all adjusting your ear and your body and the feeling of it. Let it all have time to settle in. Now, with that in mind, let's keep warming up our ear to this key and this vibe by using some simple approaches to single note stuff over it. I'm going to use, in this ninth position, the E major scale. And there it just went straight down. Little direction change, ended up on that A. There's a little piece of B. Now, the other day on the YouTube video, we did a lot of harmonization, Or we talked about that little option. You'll see it when you watch that video. E major pentatonic. There's a little sixth harmony. Okay, so some of that's, building off of what we did on the YouTube video this week. And like I said, you put both of these together, you're going to have a nice program of, pretty straight ahead concepts that you can start putting together right away. Now, today's thing on here, and all that warm up, we're 4 minutes into this, or maybe a little longer. I guess I'm on the second segment of it, so 6 minutes into it, right? 5 or 6 minutes well spent. Like, we haven't learned any licks yet. Okay, but the pump is primed. Now we're in a hopefully a kind of a better, situation in our overall sort of perception in our body and our kind of focus to be able to utilize this stuff and internalize it and kind of mortar it into our memory and our muscle memory better than if we just jumped over to the tab and started doing licks. All right. Sorry, I said I was going to start, omitting that mini lecture. Sometimes I guess I'm still stuck on it. So now let's have some fun. One of the things that I wanted to show you right away, and let's just look at the E first. Okay. Is these little embellishments that just go so far in stylizing this stuff. And so let's say if I went. That little roll up there, it's like a major pentatonic blues note. You know how you have a minor one that's in a different context, even though it kind of looks the same. This is like building off of this. Okay, so I didn't write these down, these little embellishments, because it's just, it's kind of messy. It's probably easier to just look at it. Sometimes you can slide it right on up there. See that? That is a nice sound and it doesn't take a lot of notes, and there's not a lot of worrying about the targeting of different chord tones and stuff with that. It's just a stylizing thing. And there's another one back here. If we go, that first one I showed you kind of comes off of this position, right? Right there, I've got the third of that E on the bottom, right? But it's all right. So there's a little maneuver that you want to just kind of pause this thing and really just kind of work out on that if you're not used to that. Kind of making that last slide there, the sign off on it. Right, I'm hitting that chord statement up there. You wouldn't always have to do that, but you can. Okay, now here's another one. Say if we go back to that same triad, but we put it in this position. And this is such an important one that doesn't get shown as much as this stuff. You end up kind of at the same destination, right? But to get there, you start here and you go to that major third and roll it up to a fourth. So you're getting like a little sus4 sound in there. It's beautiful. That was bad fingering. Let me, because you want to be able to pull that off. Now this one, I did make a little diagram for it, but I didn't put the embellishment at the top of it. I just went from the 3 to the 2. Because that's kind of the core move of it, right? Sorry. The slower I go, the whole thing just starts to follow. It's like a bicycle, right? Man, that's a nice one. Now, those two little deals together really, creates a lot of action around that E. Now, and some of it, works well just as you would use E major pentatonic in sort of a global way over the whole progression. So check this out. All right. Now let's wait for this to come around to the top. I want to keep it focused mostly around the E, but don't get hung up too much on that, because one of the nice things about this method is that they lead nicely in and out of the other chords and bond with those transitions well. So keep it simple. Here's the top. See, that's going to the A, so I didn't play that full E triad because I just singled out that E, which is a chord tone of the A triad, the fifth. We'll do some more here. And I'll put that other shape in there too. All right. simple. See how I'm just letting that melody build? I'm not doing a lot of harmonies, double stops, right? I'm letting you hear kind of the skeletal version of it. Now I'll put a little bit more of the two note harmonies in it. Okay. Now you can tell that was some of those were pretty deliberate. I'm waiting and kind of setting it down, right? So it maybe lost a little bit of its overall continuity in sound, but we're demonstrating here, right? And hopefully that was a useful demonstration of those shapes. Okay. Um, there's let's see what I got. I don't have the tab up on the screen. I got to pull it up here. Um, and see exactly what I'm showing you all now. So those two um, really nice ones for that E. And of course, you could, there's shapes that you could kind of. So you go to that 5. I could just move that business down there. You want to be a little bit more careful about the second one. That's a little bit different, but this one. Um, That's pretty much a standalone. There it is in a different position for E. There, now that's putting it in the context of more of the along the neck, right? How it looks a little different in different places. But stick to this game plan up here. You get that sound going. You'll get used to it. You'll know like when it clicks. Like I can hear that in other places. Okay, now let's look at this 5 chord, which is a really good place in a progression like this to play a little bit longer lick, more melodic, going back into that resolving 1. Here it is. Okay, so that sounds real skeletal, right? When we're going slow, that's what we want to do. Let your ear really soak in the harmonies in that melody against that chord, and more importantly, how it leads back. You see what happened? I went to do my little embellishment there, my little blues note, and it just didn't go. that happens, right? It just got stuck there. So I went back and kind of, I didn't give up. I went back and put it in there. But now let's look at kind of the structure of this. So we've got this part of this kind of form of a B. Actually, not just kind of, we've got all three of those notes from that triad, but we're just, playing two of them on the G string instead of going up here. And what I like to do is slide right there. That's what gives it even more flavor. All right, and that's what's written there. You don't always have to go up to that tonic. I'm just doing that because it's more of an ear training thing, right? It keeps it in that container of being that B triad. But you could go. Yeah, I had to be careful. I didn't want to just play some junk in there. I paused and thought, wait, where am I at? Oh, yeah, I could get right back into that E shape right there. Okay. Now, here's another one. Um, it's very similar. It's just I guess it's kind of a lower octave version of it, but something like, I want to make sure I'm showing you. I got to look at the tab, make sure I'm showing you exactly what I wrote. Okay. Same kind of feeling. It's that that rolling down, that cascading. See how that's just really kind of going right down through there, but you get that sus4 in there. Every time I go to that major third, I play a fourth by it, right? Right before it. Then I'm going, as you can see there, I'm sliding it right up to. Right back up into that shape of B. So we've got. Then go right back to the. Okay, you hear this stuff all the time in blues and kind of groovier kind of R&B type rock, like oh, I just spaced out on his name, the 400, Jason Isbell, Van Morrison, Robbie Robertson, um, and I just love how those players at that level, they just borrow from like everything. John Mayer. Um, and those are some of the licks that, it's taken me a while to put some of these together. Because I keep hearing these sounds, but I've kind of approximate it for a while or a couple years and do it one way, there's like plateaus of it for me. And I'm not saying that these are the best versions, but they're getting to where I like them better, right? I like what I'm playing better. I can get more emotion out of those little, you know, uh, uh, embellishments and things when I put those in there, and all the notes in the whole thing start to have more meaning, right? And I find myself not worrying about kind of like, accounting for every little thing I'm doing. It's kind of like, I'm playing almost in like a blues scale type thing, but I'm getting the chord tones, right? By putting these kinds of arpeggiated moves in there. If you like that sound and you like a lot of the players that I just mentioned, spend time on this sort of thing. It'll really pay off for you. I appreciate every single one of you. Thanks for everybody that's joined recently and helping us out. It just means so much to me and my wife. Thank you. See you next time.